2 weeks ago, we celebrated a huge milestone, the launch of the Centennial World Podcast Network. And we couldn't have done it without Tempest One, our exclusive drinks partner for this new era of the brand. Tempest One's Prosecco Spritzers are the perfect ready-to-drink pick. Whether you're celebrating, going out on a night with friends, or even catching up for some chilled after-work drinks. With a lineup of flavors that look just as good as they taste, they're not just fruity and refreshing, they are the best aesthetic addition to any event. A massive thank you to Tempest One for keeping the support going and for sponsoring this week of Mini Scroll. If you haven't tried Tempest One yet, consider this your sign, and as always, drink responsibly. Hi everyone, welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. Okay, I'm dying. After Annabelle talked about the subreddit about Infinite Scroll yesterday, whoever is running our subreddit changed the header, made a custom header. It looks so cool. And I promise it's not one of us, okay? Annabelle is just so obsessed that somebody made us a whole subreddit in general. She is checking it all the time. And they changed the description. Let me find it. They changed the description to, "We are skibbity toilet enthusiasts here at Infinite Scroll." Because that's what Annabelle said yesterday. I'm actually dying. We were sending screenshots of that in our company Slack this morning, literally dying. But yes, thank you guys for being so engaged all the time with the brand, on YouTube, on Reddit. It honestly means so much to us. And we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we're almost there. So please subscribe to us on YouTube. Okay, let's get into the stories for today. So the first story that I have for you guys is that Trisha Paytas and Mikayla Nogueira are kind of feuding. So there is a little bit of drama between YouTuber Trisha Paytas and TikTok makeup star Mikayla Nogueira. Okay, so as we know, I've reported on this before, but Mikayla has been talking about something really hard that she's been going through for these past few months. And last week, she came out with a video where she opened up about what she's been going through. So her husband, Cody, has been in rehab battling addiction.
My husband, Cody, is in rehab, and I'm ready to talk about it.
Now, the video was the Get Ready With Me, the video where she talked about this, and she was using the products from her brand, Point of View Beauty, that she just launched throughout this video. So on the Just Trish podcast, Trisha and Oscar talked about Mikayla revealing this as part of their Hot Topics discussion, and Oscar kind of lightly criticized Mikayla for making it a promo for her brand because you could see the logos. So he was kind of insinuating, the way that I gathered was he was kind of insinuating that Mikayla maybe waited for her brand to launch to address what was going on in her life because she knew that whenever she came out with whatever she's been going through, that would get a lot of eyeballs. So to capitalize on that moment, she might as well have promotion for her brand in this video. And he was just kind of saying for something that is so serious, it just feels a bit icky. Trisha was somewhat agreeing with Oscar, but she didn't really participate in the discussion at all. She didn't really have an opinion. It was very much Oscar and even Moses talking about this.
Totally sympathizing, but the only off-putting thing was waiting until you have the skincare line and then doing the Get Ready With Me and then using your own products and then making sure the label of your products is front and center. It wasn't even I could tell it was purposeful that the label of her products was literally centered because it's a spherical thing. It could be tilted a little bit, but she made sure the label was not covered at all and facing the camera.
So Mikayla saw this clip and she made an Instagram story saying that she's hurt to see this because she's always been a big Trisha fan and she even has tickets to Trisha's live show and now she's questioning if she should even go to that live show.
My day just got ruined. Can I rant for 2 seconds? Okay, I grew up a huge fucking fan of Trisha Paytas. Huge fucking fan, okay? I've been with Trisha since she started on YouTube and I have tickets to see her show next week in Boston and I'm so fucking excited. I just saw her take on my situation with Cody on her podcast, and it crushed my fucking soul. It crushed my idol, mega fan soul. And now I'm do I go to the show? I don't think she likes me. My hat's beating out of my fucking chest right now.
Mikayla got a lot of responses to this Instagram story, I guess, from people saying, Trisha didn't really participate. She was kind of defending you. I think you kind of took it the wrong way. It wasn't really Trisha that was saying this. And now Trisha has addressed the situation on TikTok.
I've always been a Mikayla fan. I've always had Mikayla's back through every scandal. And I think I even said in the podcast, like, in the grand scheme of things, the stuff that Mikayla gets canceled for is just like so unserious. Talked about on Hot Topics, and there's always a discussion and discourse of different opinions that are out there. I just, commented on a different perspective, and I was like, oh, okay, I could see where that could come across as this, and this. But let me be clear. Let me be so clear. It's the worst. And I feel like we were clear about that. Like, going through something like that has to be the absolute worst. Seeing Mikayla crying over something that I have done or said makes me really sad, and if I can correct it, I will.
I understand for influencers, everything is content, and I understand from a business perspective why she would want to have her brand in that video. Like I said, it would have so many eyeballs because she's been not teasing's absolutely not the right word, but like drip feeding for the past several months that she's been going through something really major. So yeah, the video where she comes out and tells us what that is, obviously lots of people are going to watch that. So I understand from a business perspective, it makes sense to have her brand front and center. But I also think if you're an influencer who's going to choose to do that, to make everything content and to use everything as a promotional opportunity, then you also have to accept the criticism that will come along with that, because not everyone is going to support that decision and think that it's like the most, ethical decision necessarily. And you just kind of have to stand by that decision. And I know it's hard when you're getting criticism, especially if she really loves Trisha. Like, I understand it's probably a bit ooh, your stomach kind of drops when you see someone that you love, talking not necessarily positively about you. I get it. But yeah, I think that's where I stand on this is okay, if you're going to make that decision to do that, it's not really that's between you and your husband and the decision that you've made there. But then you have to kind of stand by that and understand that people are going to have an opinion on that. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is that Gabby Windey has responded to Clayton's claims that she's bullying him over his dancing. So this is a follow-up from Tuesday's episode, but Gabby has responded to Clayton's video in which he said that Gabby was bullying him by publicly making fun of his dancing videos on a podcast that she was on.
Oh, that's rich. It's rich coming from a man who exploited my sexual life on TV without me knowing. You were intimate with the both of us, you said, on national TV in front of millions without having a conversation with me or another woman first, so you humiliated us in front of each other and in front of everybody watching the TV. Sure, people can infer, but nothing has been said so explicitly, and those kinds of details should come from a woman. Oh, I'm a mean girl? As a straight white man, maybe you should do better with your power.
Okay, so I think that this response confirms to me what we were talking about on Tuesday, which was the way that she perceives everything that went down with Clayton. She probably, I'm assuming, feels like he really hurt her and didn't go about things in the best way, and therefore maybe feels like she's justified to make fun of his dancing. I get that it is different speaking negatively about your ex on a very big public platform versus, speaking negatively about him to your friends in private. So I think that's where some of the criticism is coming in. But I got so many responses on Tuesday when I reported on this from you guys being we don't bully white men enough. But yeah, so that's her response, and I don't think that we are going to hear about this ever again. I don't think Clayton's going to respond. I think Gabby might stop talking about him on, public platforms, and I think it's just going to go away. Okay, the last story that I have for you guys is so niche and unhinged, and I don't know. Annabelle told me to cover it, and it is really random, but it is kind of going viral. And the reason she told me to cover it is because it's going viral. Okay, so I'm going to be diving into Eve the cuckoldress and her viral swingers party. So a woman named Eve is going somewhat viral online for documenting her trip to Houston, Texas to attend a swingers party. So she basically made a day in the life vlog where she was getting on the plane. She had the caption, "I was up at 3 a.m. to head to Houston for a swingers party." She posted this on Reels, on Instagram Reels. She got there, she hired a rental car. Her car had a flat tire, but don't worry, they made it. So they got to the hotel, they hung out for a little bit, then they went to the party, and she's vlogging the venue, the mansion, it looks like, where the party is being held. She vlogs all these different rooms where there's all these beds set up. So you can, she's this is where people basically will be hooking up. And then she vlogs like the back of the guy that I presume she hooked up with in one of these beds. You can't see his face, but she vlogs him and the bed, and she's like, this is where something went down. She vlogs the food that's provided at this party, and it was Mexican food, and everyone's like, that is so dangerous. I can't believe they're serving Mexican food at a party where you're all supposed to be hooking up. And then she also vlogs the end of the night when they went back to the hotel, and she was like, things kept going after. Okay, so this is obviously like, it's like this content is interesting because she has quite like not like a big following. She has like over 150,000 followers on Instagram from vlogging content that's similar to this, where it's like not quite X-rated, but she's like sharing experiences that are like X-rated, but obviously not the like racy parts of it. It's actually like an interesting style of content that you don't really see that often. But this Reels has gone somewhat viral because like it kind of popped off on Reels, but what's made it quote unquote viral is that it's now gone cross-platform. So it's been posted on Twitter and Reddit, and now all of these memes are coming out of it. One of the most popular memes is just a screenshot of her smiling after she was like, we just hooked up or whatever. And the tweet above it says, me after 2 plates of Mexican food. And then the quote tweet of that says, I love this because I feel like you can never explain this to someone that isn't also chronically online. So yes, this is just one of those like fun little niche moments that really blows up on a certain corner of the internet, and everyone feels like they're in it together, like going on this journey with Eve and talking within this same group that's watching her go on this journey to this like swingers party and like have the best time ever. But people are taking a lot of enjoyment from this, especially because it's not a style of content you see very often, and it's not an experience you would necessarily know anything about unless you've done it yourself. So for her to kind of vlog like from leaving to go to the party, like on the flight, to being at the party, showing what like the venue looks like, that it's catered, like all these different things, is actually really interesting. All right, guys, well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe. Again, we're trying to get to 1,000 Spotify star ratings. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so subscribe to us on YouTube. We are almost there. I love you guys. There will be a deep dive tomorrow, and then I will talk to you on Monday. Bye.